for joining us for this event. Let me quickly explain how we will organize today's meeting. We will begin with a presentation of our speaker, which will take about 40 minutes. And after the presentation, we will have a discussion and a question and answer session. So everyone will have the opportunity to ask questions and share their thoughts. So welcome to the second lecture in our guest series, Ukrainian Voices, Academic Freedom in a Changing World. This series lectures organized within the framework of the Erasmus Plus project, Promotion Academic Freedom in Ukraine. And the main goal of the FreeAc project is to help mitigate the negative impacts of the war on higher education in Ukraine by using the resources available to us. This project began in December 2023 and will run until the end of 2026 and coordinated by University of Graz. This initiative, Ukrainian Voices, is one of the project's key components, and it aims to support Ukrainian scholars by providing them with access to the European academic landscape. And this initiative helps researchers share their work with broader public and ensure that Ukrainian science remains actively represented in the European academic community. This lecture is hosted by the Adam Mickiewicz University in Poznań. And this lecture series presents lectures by Ukrainian researchers working in various fields related to academic freedom, democratic transformation, during the ongoing war. It's my pleasure today to introduce our today's speaker, Professor Olena Antoniuk. Olena Antoniuk is a doctor of economic sciences, professor of the Department of Accounting and Audit of the National University of Water and Environmental Engineering. And today's lecture addresses a topic, issues and ways to ensure sustainable development of audit service in martial law, the experience of Ukraine. And today's lecture will address the functioning and the development of audit activities in Ukraine under martial law, including challenges that we have. So I wish you all a productive lecture, engaging discussions, and valuable insights. Let me now give the floor to Olena, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the invitation to participate in this project. As for me, it's a great opportunity to talk about the development of auditing in our country, in Ukraine. And I will start my lecture, my presentation. Now I will share my screen and I will start. Okay. I must say the topic of my presentations for today is about issues and ways to ensure the sustainable development of audit services in martial law. By the way, I want to say that auditing practice, auditing services is my scientific interest. I'm the author of different articles. I active in different scientific conferences about audit services. Also have different classes about audit practice, about organization, methodology of audit of financial statements and audit services. That's why I want to present you how the audit firms and audit services, how we continue to work to develop during the martial law, and also I must say that my presentation also will be practical oriented, because I want to present the practical ways which were used in our country during the martial law in order to continue the audit activity and order to be able to propose different audit services during these hard times. That's why I will present information according to the according to the legal regulations and according to the practice. And I will start why this topic is important, because audit activity and its regulation in Ukraine are carried out in accordance with the European model of public oversight of audit activities, respectively taking into the account the requirements of the directives of the European Parliament. The full-scale invasion of the Russian Federation, which began on February 24, 2022, has complied the activities of many audit firms. Some audit firms that suffered as a result of military actions completely or almost completely suspended their activities. Others were relocated to relatively safe areas of the country. Some continued to actively provide audit services. Despite this, auditors demonstrate commitment to the quality of service provision. Martial law affected regulatory regulation, the activities of professional organization, and the features of the service provision. In this context, the experience of audit firms regulatory measures during this period by regulators and professional organizations of Ukraine is unique among European countries. During these presentations, I want and I will be focus on the activity of two organizations in our country. One of them is Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine, and another one, also very important, it's a professional organization, the Auditors Chamber of Ukraine. And at the beginning, some general information about the aim, about the main task of these two organizations, and then their activity during the martial law. If we will speak about Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine, the mission of this organization is to ensure a high level of confidence for owners, investors, and other users of information disclosed in the financial statement as a reliable basis for decision making. And another organization, Audit Chamber of Ukraine. Audit Chamber of Ukraine is a non-profit legal entity carrying out professional self-regulation of audit activities and is established to ensure the implementation of the task of the audit self-regulation. First of all, I will speak about the activity, about the different decisions of Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine. In Ukraine, since 2018, auditing activities and their regulation have been carried out in accordance with the law of Ukraine on audit of financial statements and auditing, which introduced the European model of public oversight of auditing activities. The leading role in this model belongs to the Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine, whose purpose is to exercise public oversight of auditing activities in our country. Since the first days of Russia's armed aggression and the introduction of martial law in Ukraine, Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine has been implementing measures to respond promptly to new challenges that have been arisen and are arising before the system of public oversight of audit activities, auditors, and audit firms. The main tasks of these organizations. The Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine performs supervision and is responsible for overseeing the following areas. Number one, registration of auditors and audit legal entities, implementation of international auditing standards, control over attestation of auditors, and continuous training of auditors. Also, it's such areas as disciplinary charges against auditors performing statutory audits of financial statements, and also application of penalties. According to a structure of these organizations, two important in structures, there are two important advisory bodies. One of them is Committee on Best Practice for Organization of Audit Services and Quality Control System, and another one, Coordinating Council of the State Regulators. It's important to say that after 24 of February 2024, quality control inspections, which are one of the important part of activity of these organizations, are carried out only on the basis of an application by the audit firms, provided there are no threat to the life and safety of persons participating in such an inspection for the period for the introduction of martial law in Ukraine. Another priority task was to ensure the stable functioning of the system of public supervision of audit activities during the period of martial law and post-war economic recovery, and the results of the search for additional sources for funding were updated. Also, the temporary proceed for passing the qualification exam and the certification of auditors was approved, and the information of the register of auditors and subjects of audit activity has been limited and closed. It was at the beginning during the February, March, and April 2022. Also, in order for the audit market to maintain its potential, resume and continue its work, Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine has been taking measures to support auditors and audit firms since the first day of the war. In particular, in March 11, 2022, it was announced that the audit firms would postpone the submission of information to this organization and on the provision of services to enterprises of public interest, as well as informing about the publication of the transparency report for 3 months after the termination or cancellation of martial law of a state of war. From 24th of February 2022, mandatory quality control audits of audit services were suspended, which were later resumed. On February 25, 2022, due to the full-scale armed aggression of the Russian Federation and the introduction of martial law in Ukraine, inspections were suspended. Since April 2022, inspections have been resumed, provided that the audit firms gives it consent to conduct them, has technical capabilities, and ensures the safety of the inspectors and audit firms employees participated in the inspection. Then, according to the statistics, 10 audit firms included in the schedule did not consent to the inspection in 2022. At the same time, the priority of Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine activities remains the provision of services, and this work was had the continuation during the 2023, 20 and 24 during the next years. And also one of the tasks was the reducing the financial budget on the audit firms and clients of audit services by setting the amount of the contribution paid by the audit firms to Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine at without any costs, without any percent. Also, in order to create legal mechanism to protect the interest of individuals and legal entities conduct audit activities during martial law, as well as to minimize the impact of negative factors and promote post-war economic recovery, a draft law of Ukraine on amendments of the law of Ukraine on audit of financial statements and audited was developed. In addition, on 3rd of March 2022, the Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine appealed as the International Forum of Independent Audit Regulators with a request to terminate the membership of the Russian Ministry of Finance in the organization in connection with Russia's military aggression against Ukraine. And this screenshot from the website of Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine, which demonstrates the international activity during this period as a part for presentation. Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine has appealed to network companies abroad with an appeal to suspend the activities of the network and network companies through the territory of Russia. Another, take measures to determine the functional, organizational, administrative subordination or any other influence of Russian officers on Ukrainian network companies if such influence exists. Prevents the processing and storage of any information related to the provision of services to Ukrainian enterprises or citizens of Ukraine on servers located in Russia or in such information, if such information exists. Suspension of the activities of network companies through Russia, and another one, the relocation of Russian citizens from Ukrainian offices, from audit firms, different audit firms, as well as the question of any involvement of employees of offices from Russia in the provision of services in Ukraine. Also during this period, at the beginning and right now, it's very active international activity. And in accordance with the appeals of the international organizations such as SSA, Ukraine was supported and Russian aggression was condemned, and a number of supervision measures were taken over auditing activities in Ukraine. For example, on August 18, 2022, a working meeting was held to exchange experience and discuss current issues of organization and conducting quality control inspections of audit services with the accounting regulation service regarding the suspension of the Russian representatives for the activities of this international organization. In addition, our Ukrainian organization began work on martial recognition of auditors of Ukraine and Poland. And on June 2022, our professional organization held a Zoom meeting with the Polish Agency of Audit Oversight to establish cooperation. In 2022, work began on the regulatory regulation of professional standardization. At the end of the 2022 and at the beginning of 2023, all our organization, all our auditors, audit firms, scientists, continue our work. And another task was to develop profession, and that's why our organizations, together with the Ministry of Finance of Ukraine, established the Sectorial Council for the Development of Professional Standards in the field of accounting and auditing. I must say that in our country we have standards for education, but right now we have not the professional standardization in the field of audit activity. That's why right now working groups, they work in order to develop the draft professional standards. And it will be standards for the profession auditor. Another one is assistant auditor, inspector for quality control of audit services, chief accountant of a public interest enterprise, and key partner engagement department. And it's very important work in order to develop also the education in our country and to have the common way to develop between standards in education and between professional standardization. Another important task which presents the activity during 2023 and 2024. It's activity about in the field of quality control, in the field of the register of auditors and audit entities, about auditor certification, and about international cooperation. Also, you can see the screenshot of this our organization. It's an audit public oversight body of Ukraine, and it's the main parts of the website, which gives all necessary information from who are interested in audit activity, and especially in the activity of audit public oversight body of Ukraine. And about this ways, quality control is very important. It's one of the main tasks of this organization. And according to the reports, over the last 2 years of war in Ukraine, 33 audit firms were covered by quality control audits of audit services, including 17 audit firms in 2023. At the same time, 15 audit firms took advantage of the opportunity established by the law of Ukraine on amendments to the law of Ukraine on audit of financial statements and auditing activities to ensure audit activities for the period of martial law and post-war economic recovery. and did not consent to conducting a quality control audit of audit services, including 5 audit firms in 2023. This is also one of the way how to help the audit firms who are not ready to pass the quality control right now, because they were relocated, they started their activity in new city, in new region, maybe they lost their clients, and etc. Also, over the last 2 years of Ukraine, as I said, 33 audit firms were covered by the quality control. And the results of this quality control. During 2023, by decision of the supervisory board of this organization, 1 audit firm was brought to professional responsibility. Disciplinary proceedings against 2 audit firms were stopped, and registration in the register of 1 auditor was consulted on the basis of Part 12 of Article 22 according to our Ukrainian law. And also registration in the register of 5 audit firms was consulted. That's why it means that all necessary activity in order to ensure the clients of the high level of audit services, this work have continuation during the wartime and have the results of such activity. If we compare it with 2022, the average duration on one site inspection increased from 6 to 12 business days. The increase in the average duration of one site inspection was mainly influenced by such reasons. Number 1, the use of predominantly remote or hybrid format for conducting inspections after the introduction of material law in Ukraine. Then interviewing audit firms' employees who were forcibly relocated to other regions of Ukraine or the country, which required additional organization and coordination of such interviews. Also, another important factor that it was a limited access of audit firms' employees to the office to provide access to documentation that was not available in electronic form. Also, emergency and stabilization power outages during the working day. It was especially a problem for all of us, for Ukraine, last year, because really we have problems with electricity. Now it's better situation. For example, I live in Rivne city, it's a Rivne region. Right now we have any problems with electricity, but we really have problems in order, and because of maybe it might be 5, 6, sometimes it might be 10 or more hours without electricity, and its influence for our ability to have access for netbooks, computers, programs, and be productive during all working day. Also, regular air alarms during which the inspection was suspended. At the same time, the number of audit tasks selected for inspection was 3 tasks on average. Also, if now we are speaking about quality control, the devastating impact of the war in Ukraine on the economic activities of business entities led to a change in the focus of audits of completed stationary financial statements audit assessment in the second half of 2022. Increased attention was paid to auditors' compliance with the requirements of International Auditing Standards number 570 going concern and International Auditing Standard 560 events over the reporting period. It's elements of methodology of auditing process. It's necessary to use international auditing standards, and it's very important for our country for this period. And if we will analyze independent auditors' report for different enterprises, in every report we can see such remarks that according to the international auditing standard, auditors cannot give sure that this enterprise have a going concern because of war. And also it's including an analysis of the adequacy of disclosures in the notes of the financial statements. It's also important notes which about the methodology and organization of auditing process. Other important part is a register of auditors and audit entities. At the beginning, during the February, March, April, May 2022, the register was closed because important information about auditors, it was closed. And then the aim was to improve the register, and that's why the special department of our organization has ensured the development of software and launched the functioning of the register as an informational and communicational system. From the 1st of November 2023, its publication on the official website of our professional organization with unlimited and unauthorized access. It means public access right now to it through the official website have been ensured. Right now you can see the screenshot of our register. That's why everybody he or she can find all necessary information about auditor or about audit firm according to the identification, about the registration number, and according to their interest as for example as a client of the public entities or etc. This why on the screenshot you can see how this register you can see the website and the part of this website and how we can use this register. Also, digitalization is also important part of the development of audit activity during this period, and digitalization of files more than 2,760 auditors and entered and audit firms were entered into the auditor's electronic office. The register is synchronous, we can use together with other public registers, and entering information into the register and deleting registered information from the register was carried out through the auditor electronic office. Every auditor in our country has their own electronic office on this website, and also audit firms, they also have the electronic office and can use this register and also using their own electronic office can use different information about education, about continuation in education, and etc. The register was created taking into account the legislation on public electronic register in order to connect this register to other public electronic registers and the system of electronic interaction of electronic resources to ensure the exchange of information with other public electronic registers. At the beginning of this year in Ukraine, there are, as you see, 2,007 and more than 700 auditors, 835 audit firms, and 78 is the number of audit firms entitled to audit public interest entities. That's why we in our country we have three types of. It's one register, but you can see right now that there are three different paths in this register. One of them is audit firms. Another is a list of and the register of audit firms which can provide the audit of financial statement, and another one is the audit firms that can provide the audit of financial statement of public of entities of public interest. And about certification. Also at the beginning of 2022, it was a problem to continue as a certification. That's why during the 2023, liberalized procedures for the certification of auditors was in effect for the period of martial law, according in which 181 candidates of auditors took the qualification exams. 56 candidates for auditors successfully passed them, which is almost 31% of the total number of exam participants. In order to further international integration of the national auditor certification system, to proceed for recognition of the proceeds and programs of all theoretical exams taken as part of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants qualification and auditor certification in Ukraine has been completed. In order to implement the updated system of control over continuous professional training of auditors, the process of reporting on the completion of continuous professional training by auditors have been automated. In particular, the submission of reporting information on the completion of continuous professional training through the electronic office. According to the new approach in 2023, more than 1,000 reported information was submitted by auditors and 50 information by organizers of continuous professional training events. About international cooperation, I must say the most important, it was that our Ukrainian organization since 2019 as a full member of the International Forum of Independent Audit Regulators, having gained its own experience in public oversight of auditing activities over the past 4 years, uses the best European and global practice in the auditing oversight system in its activities. Also in 2023, our organization acquired observer status in the Committee of the European Auditing Oversight Bodies. Also on this slide, you can see the statistics about the results of quality control during in compare with 2021 and 2022. As you see, this part is inspection results. And we see that at the beginning of the martial law, the percent of audit firms which pass the inspection with mandatory to implementation of recommendation was only 39%. It's a half with if we compare with the previous year 2021. Also, it was 10 audit firms who consent for inspection was not granted, and also was, for example, was 2 audit firms which check not completed due to the loss the right to conduct the mandatory audit. And 1 audit firm, the inspection was started in the current year, but continued next year. It also was a way how to solve the problem about quality control and the ability to audit firms. As we see, the changes in the number of audit firms since the start of the full-scale invasion, it's nearly 44 audit firms. As we compare information between 2023 with the 1st of January 2022, the number of subject of audit activity, audit firm registered in the register decreased by 5%, or 44 entities, as you see on this structure. And the number of audit firms with the right to conduct mandatory audits, the registry data which is contained in the section 3 of our Ukrainian register, it decreased, or only 9 audit firms and amounted to 2,010 audit firms. That's why, in general, as we see, nearly 50 audit firms, they finish their activity, or they became more oriented for example, consulting, non-audit services, for consulting services, for different accounting services, and etc. Also, as a conclusion about the activity of this first organization, Audit Public Oversight Body of Ukraine, it's necessary to say that the main activity was to continue the work of audit firms, and for the first days of the war took measures aimed at supporting auditors and audit firms. And the main activity was about postponement of the obligation to pay the contribution paid by the audit firms in their favor to this organization. Also, mandatory audits for quality control of auditing services have been stopped. At 2022, and then they continue this work. And now also short information about activity of other organization. It's the Audit Chamber of Ukraine. Audit Chamber of Ukraine, it's a non-professional organization, and with the aim of joining efforts of auditors on a professional basis for fulfilling their obligations under the law and to ensure their rights, representation, professional interests of auditors in the public bodies, local authorities, protection of professional interests and social rights of auditors, promoting professional development of auditors and provided them with a methodological assistance, and also to carrying out self-regulations activity exists self-government of auditors that carries out through the Audit Chamber of Ukraine. According to our law, Audit Chamber of Ukraine is non-profit legal entity carrying out professional self-regulation of audit activity and is established to ensure the implementation of the task of audit self-regulations. The main activity of the Audit Chamber of Ukraine in general, it regulates relations between the members of the Audit Chamber of Ukraine in the process of audit activities, participates in expert evaluation of draft legislation and regulatory acts on the issues of audit activities, summarize information on the practice of application of the international standards on auditing, and provides recommendation upon request of the audit entities on controversial and complex issues. Also represents Ukrainian auditors in relations with the state authorities, local authorities, their official and officers, enterprises, institutions, organizations in respect of the form of ownership, public associations, and international organizations. Also, the Audit Chamber of Ukraine ensures protection of auditors' professional rights and ensures access and transparency of information regarding to the auditors of Ukraine. And if we are talking about martial law, about this period, important event which is necessary to talk right now is about the Congress. Usually before 2024 or 2022, all such meetings was offline in Kiev city, but according to a situation, according to the martial law, on May 18th, the first online meeting on the issues of the Congress of Auditors of Ukraine was held, which was attended by almost 500 auditors. The developer of a special electronic voting system, Golos, if we will translate, it will be voice, but in the original, the name of this system, special electronic system is Golos, was invited on the online meeting. This firm and person from this field, he explained and demonstrated how the electronic voting will take place. And that's why maybe I think it's such a historical event for our country. There's such important event as the Congress of Auditors, which was during the May 18, 2023, the first online meeting, and Congress was attended almost 500 auditors. And then on July of 2024, the Congress was held using the remote electronic voting system Golos. And you can see the screenshot with the information from this Congress with the results which with the results of this Congress, and that demonstrates that also was okay, and it really was very important fact using the electronic voting for such important decisions for the activity of Audit Chamber of Ukraine. And I think that the main important information which I want to say about the role of two organizations in our country during the martial law, because I want focused on the some facts about legal regulations. That's why I think I demonstrate what was main activity in order to help auditors, audit firms during this period. Also, it's I think that the separate, we can talk along about the role and the activity of every of different audit firms, their activity in a profession as a volunteers, but is another topic. And today, thank you for attention. If you have question, I will be happy to answer to your question and to demonstrate our practice and of our country and our auditors. Thank you. I finished my presentation.
Thank you very much for the lecture, a very important one, and considering a very fragile issue because it's about controlling, auditing, and so on. Dear colleagues, do you have any questions?
Dear Bartosz, before the questions, could you please stop the recording during this part of our lecture?
Without recording. Okay, thank you, Svetlana. Done.